Hello everyone, welcome to Success Education. Today we'll be doing the workbook solution for Social Science for Standard 7, Chapter number 11, Components of the Environment and Interrelationships. Before that, if you have not subscribed my channel till now, please do subscribe it for more videos. So we'll be starting with the MCQs. First one, which planet of the solar system is gifted with a natural environment? It's option number D, Earth. Second, which is the driving force for the survival, development and progress of human life? It's option number A, environment. Third, what is the uppermost solid, that is hard layer of the earth, is called as? It's option number B, lithosphere. Fourth, how many main components is the environment made up of? It's option number C, 4. Fifth, which component of the environment absorbs the ultraviolet sun rays and protects the living organisms? It's option number D, atmosphere. Sixth, through which medium can we hear the sound? It's option number B, atmosphere. Seventh, from which component of the environment do the living beings obtain their food and other necessities? It's option number A, biosphere. Seventh, how many main types of environment are there? It's option number D, 2. Ninth, by which other name is the man-made environment known as? It's option number C, cultural. 10th, what percentage of the Earth's surface does the hydrosphere occupy? It's option number A, 71%. 11th, how many kilometers deep are the trenches, that is valleys, in the Pacific Ocean? It's option number B, 10 to 11. 12th, of the total water on the surface of the earth, how many percent of water lies in the oceans? It's option number D, 97.3%. 13th, how many times during a day do the high and low tides occur in the sea? It's option number B, twice. 14th, what is the time interval between two high or low tides or ebbs? It's option number A, 12 hours and 25 minutes. 15th, which fuel is pollution free for the vehicles? It's option number B, CNG. 16th, which pollution causes deafness in the ears? It's option number D, sound, that is noise. Now we'll continue with question number 2, that is fill in the blanks. First one, the life of residents on the earth throbs only due to environment. Second, environment is the cover of natural components around the earth. Third, the solid, that is hard upper layer of the earth, is called as lithosphere. Fourth, the low-lying areas on the surface of the earth filled in by water are known as hydrosphere. Fifth, the atmosphere absorbs the ultraviolet sun rays and protects life on the earth. Sixth, we can hear the sound through the medium of atmosphere. Seventh, the man-made environment is also called as cultural environment. 8. There is excess of water mass on the surface than the land mass of the earth. 9. The water mass occupies about 71% of the surface of the earth. 10th, rushing of seawater towards the shores, it is called tide. 11th, tide ebb occurred twice in a day in the sea. 12th, the tides or ebbs occurs in the sea due to the gravitational force of the sun and the moon. 13th, spring tide occurs in the sea on full moon, that is Poonam, and new moon, that is Amavas days. 14th, the warm ocean currents flow from the equator towards the poles. 15th, the cold ocean currents flow from the poles towards the equator. 16th, the sound pollution is also called noise pollution. 17th, many insects and bacteria, that is microorganisms, are killed due to excessive noise. Now we'll continue with question number 3, that is true or false. First one, we would not have existed if the environment had not been there. It is true. Second, lithosphere is composed of rocks, minerals and vegetation. It is false. Third, the entire living beings obtains its food and other necessities from hydrosphere. It is false. Fourth, most of the water on the surface of the earth is saline. It is true. Fifth, at the time of tide, the rising sea water rushes towards the shore. It is true. Sixth, Tides and ebbs occurs in the sea due to the gravitational force of the sun and the moon. It is false. 7th, high tide, that is spring tide, occurs on new moon, that is Amawas, and full moon, that is Poonam days. It is true. 8th, the warm currents of the oceans flow from the poles towards the equator. It is false. 9th, the component which pollutes the environment is called pollutant. It is true. 10th, it is advisable to use drip irrigation system and sprinklers in agriculture to prevent land pollution. It is true. 11th, the air becomes pure by incinerating, that is burning the solid waste of agriculture. It is false. 12th, noise, that is excessive sound, is pertinent to each individual. It is true. Now we'll continue with question number 4, that is match the following. First one, chemical fertilizers and pesticides. It's option number 5, land pollution. Second, smoke, that is fumes of the vehicles. It's option number 3, air pollution. Third, drainage, that is sewage water. It's option number 1, that is water pollution. And fourth, shrill, that is loud noise of vehicles. It's option number 2, noise pollution. Now we'll continue with question number 5, that is answer the following questions in 1 or 2 sentences. First one, write about the components of environment. The 4 main components of environment are: first, lithosphere; second, hydrosphere; third, atmosphere; and fourth, biosphere. Second, what is meant by lithosphere? The solid crust on the surface of the earth is called lithosphere. Third, of what is lithosphere composed? Lithosphere is composed of minerals, rocks and soil. Fourth, how is the lithosphere useful? Lithosphere provides land to humans for residences, land for agriculture and vegetation, plains for grasslands for grazing to animals, and minerals for industries. Thus, the lithosphere is useful. Fifth, what is meant by hydrosphere? The low-lying area of the Earth's surface surrounded by water is known as hydrosphere. Sixth, which are the main sources of fresh water? Snow-clad mountain peaks, groundwater, freshwater lakes, rivers, streams, etc. are the main sources of fresh water. Seventh, what is meant by atmosphere? The gaseous sphere which surrounds the earth is called atmosphere. 8. What is meant by biosphere? Biosphere is that part of lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere where life is pervasive. 9. What is included in the biosphere? Human beings, vegetation, that is flora, animals, that is fauna, and microorganisms are included in the biosphere. 10th, what is the work of the ozone gas of atmosphere? By absorbing the intense ultraviolet sun rays of the atmosphere, the ozone gas protects the life on the earth from its harmful effects. 11th, how many main types of environment are there? Which are they? There are 2 main types of environment. First one, natural environment, and second one, man-made environment. 12th, which are the oceans on the earth? There are 4 oceans on the earth. First one, Pacific; second, Atlantic; third, Indian; and fourth one, Arctic. 13th, what are called the tides and ebbs? The sea water rises and falls twice during a day. When the sea water rises, it is called tide, and when it falls, it is called ebb. 14th, what is the time interval between 2 tides? The period between 2 tides is about 12 hours and 25 minutes. 15th, when do the spring, that is high, and neap, that is low tides occur? The spring, that is high tide, occurs on new moon days and full moon days, and the neap, that is low tide, occurs on the middle days of Sud and Vad. 16th, what is meant by an ocean current? In some area of the ocean, a large water mass flows like a river in a specific direction, which is called an ocean current. 17th, where do the warm currents originate from and towards where do they flow? The warm currents mostly originate near the equator and flow towards the poles. 18th. Where do the cold currents generally originate from and towards where do they flow? The cold current mostly originate near the poles and flow below the surface of the sea towards the equator. 19th. What is meant by pollution? Due to the entry of the harmful components produced as the byproduct of various human activities, the act of polluting the natural environment is called pollution. 20. What are the pollutants? The components which spoil the environment are called pollutants. 21. What is meant by land pollution? The changes in the quality of land or soil or in its nutritive elements is called land pollution. 22. What is called water pollution? When water becomes unsuitable for its intended use and external impurities are mixed with it, it is called water pollution. 23. What is called air pollution? When the gas or fume released by industries, mills, factories, thermal power plants, etc. mixes with the atmosphere, it is called air pollution. 24. Which pollution induces irritability in human nature? Noise pollution induces irritability in human nature. Now we'll continue with question number 6, that is answer the following questions briefly. First one, what is meant by environment? Environment, that is Paryavaran, is made up of two words with Pari and Avaran. Pari means all around and Avaran means cover. Thus, Paryavaran, that is environment, means the cover of natural components surrounding the earth from all sides. Second, which are the types of natural environment? What is included in them? There are two main types of natural environment. First one, biotic, and second, abiotic. In biotic type, human beings, vegetation, that is flora, animals, that is fauna, and insects are included. In abiotic type, land, water, and air are included. Third one, which are major air pollutants? The particles of coal after it is used as fuel, which are suspended in the air, the particle containing carbon and nitrous oxide, carbon monoxide, benzopyrene, and carbon dioxide, which are found in the fumes of the vehicles, are major air pollutants. Fourth one, mention 3 effects of noise pollution. Effects of noise pollution are: the noise pollution affects adversely on the mental hygiene of human beings. Too much of noise develops irritating nature in the humans. The noise pollution reduces the ability to work. Due to excessive noise, the insects and microorganisms are killed. Fifth one, mention any 2 activities polluting the environment. Activities polluting the environment are: the scrap of the satellites launched into space, hollow bodies of the spacecrafts, useless pieces of metals, the waste abandoned by the astronauts in space, etc. cause the pollution in space. Natural disasters such as volcanic eruption, earthquake, river floods, etc. also pollute the environment. Now we'll continue with question number 7, that is answer the following questions. First one, mention any 5 measures to prevent land, that is soil pollution. The measures to prevent land pollution are as follows. Instead of pesticides and chemical fertilizers, organic and indigenous fertilizer, that is green manure, should be used. Pesticides should be used sparingly. Solid waste should be sorted and reused. Plastic or solid waste should be recycled and reused. Drip and sprinkler irrigation system should be used in agriculture. Second one, mention any 4 measures to prevent water pollution. The measures to prevent water pollution are as follows. Water polluted by household activities and industries should be disposed of after purification process only. Strict control should be maintained on disposal of waste water without processing. Consumption of substances that pollute the water should be controlled. Third one, State any 4 measures to prevent air pollution. The measures to prevent air pollution are as follows. To prevent air pollution, the government should form laws and strictly enforce them. Equipment for filtering smoke and toxic gas should be developed. Coal, petrol, diesel, etc. should be used as per requirement only. The use of pollution-free CNG, PNG, solar energy, etc. should be encouraged. Awareness should be spread to travel in public transport. PUC should be strictly enforced for vehicles. Fourth one, mention any 4 attempts of yours to prevent noise pollution. Soundproof systems and curtains should be installed in cinemas and public halls. More trees should be planted around industries and airports. In the places like schools, hospitals, etc. No horn, silence zone rules should be strictly followed. Use of fireworks in celebrations should be avoided. The volume of radio, television, mobile phones, etc. should be kept low. Machines and vehicles should be serviced regularly. Now we'll continue with question number 8, that is write geographical reasons of the following statements. First one, tides and ebbs occur in the sea. The seawater rises and falls twice in a day. When the seawater advances, it is called tide, and when it recedes, it is called ebb. At the time of a high tide, the surface of the seawater rises and rushes towards the shore. During ebb, the surface of the seawater recedes and goes away from the shore. The tides and ebbs occur due to the gravitational force of the sun and the moon. Tides and ebbs do not occur uniformly on all days and at all places. On the full moon and on new moon days, the spring tides occur. On the middle days, neap tides occur. Second one, spring, that is high tide, occurs in the sea on new moon, that is Amavas, and full moon, that is Poonam day. On every new moon day and full moon day, the sun, the earth and the moon come in a straight line. The seawater rises and large waves are created due to the gravitational force of the sun and the moon. On every full moon day and new moon day, the gravitational force of the sun and the moon is exerted from the same direction. So a spring tide occurs on these days. And here we come to the end of chapter number 11, that is conservation of the environment and interrelationships. I hope you have understood the complete chapter. If you have any doubts, you can write in the comments section. I'll surely try to answer all the questions. Thank you for watching my video and do subscribe my channel for more updates. Thank you.